What's going on, guys? Aggronix, and welcome back to another review of an Elysian League week, and what a week it was. Sorry I haven't uploaded a lot of these, but I felt not too motivated to do these, only because I don't really enjoy doing them. But you know what? I've decided, you know what? They are fun to do, and I know people enjoy them, so we're back. And I'm joined by Craft.
Hi.
And we're going to go over all the battles that took place this week in the Magma conference. If you want to find out what happened in the Aqua conference, go over to Source and Croxon's channel. Or Source and X Crox? No, I can't.
Source and Croxon.
I always mess that up. And
Link in the description below.
check him out. It'll hopefully be in the link in the description. If it's not, just type it in the search bar, and it'll be really easy to find. So, we have 5 battles to check out this week, as every week. And there were no forfeits, which is really nice. So we have Yoler versus Jay. Wait. Zai. Actually, I'm pretty sure.
Zelix.
I'm gonna turn Craft up there. Hopefully that's loud enough. But you have Yoler versus Zai. Zach versus me. Swagzire. Versus Tepig.
Swagzire versus Tepig. Me versus Steven.
And then Gomez versus Xylix. Jet. Fuck.
You've already had Xylix. You can't play twice. It doesn't work that way.
I know, yeah. So, we're jumped right into it. We're going to start with the first replay. I'm just going to play this in the background while we talk about it. We're going to start with Tepig versus...
Zelix.
No, Swagzire. Right?
No.
Atherin.
We're starting with Tepig versus Swagzire. Why? Okay.
Because it's the first replay that's up.
Well, it's not on where I am, but okay.
Yeah, so I'm just going to play this in the background, guys. You can watch it. But it was I believe a 3-0 in Tepig's corner in favor. And he brought in... For a moment, I was really thinking that Swag could win. Was it Swag, yeah?
Yeah, Swag.
It was Swag, yeah. So I really thought that Swag could win for a while. And he set up with Volcarona. And I knew the Ditto wasn't Scarf. I'm pretty sure he showed that off earlier. So it really came down to a speed tie. Me personally, there was a little bit of hacks, you know, earlier in the battle, but it really did just come down to that one turn. Basically, whoever won the speed tie won, and Tepig won, so he's won 3-0. It's really nice. Do you want to say anything about it, Craft, or is it just kind of self-explanatory?
It was slightly odd, and I'm sure there must be a reason for it. I just can't figure out what it was. Early on in the game, Swag switched Sableye into Ditto, which was Keldeo. And it just
I'm actually watching right now. Yeah, I'm watching that right now.
It stayed in because to see whether it was scarfed or not, and he assumed it switched out, and went for the knockoff without Mega Evolving.
Yeah, you're right. I
don't get why, because Nido Queen can be physical, and Steelix always is physical. I don't see either of them being big enough of a threat. And I'm wondering, had he Mega Evolved, whether he would have taken that Scold better enough that it would have more switchings later. I mean, it comes in handy later because he gets a Pranks to recover, but that was a recover on a switch anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
It was, it technically was cheating, but it was one of those cheating moments where it's like, it doesn't help him.
Yeah.
It really actually kind of bit him in the ass.
It all just confuses me, because you've been able to take hits so much better. But anyway, apart from that, you know, it just came down to speed time, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did.
I want to know what item that Ditto was, though. Do we know?
It was probably Expert Belt or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I would assume.
He probably, like, calced a way to make sure the Ditto was doing more to the Sableye than Sableye was doing to it.
I don't know. I don't know about that. But it was pretty close. This is another match, actually, where Swag doesn't really use his Jirachi very well. Is that just me? He feels like he's really... Yeah,
he's had Jirachi twice now.
And he's really not used it well.
He played it versus me, which was actually after this game.
And I know he was forced into a corner with you, but...
Jirachi managed to take down my Mega Lopunny because I missed the high jump kick. Oh no, it just broke my sub. But
no, it broke your sub. He lived the high jump kick, broke your sub, and
then I missed the high jump kick, and he killed me, which was beautiful.
So, okay, he didn't really misplay it in that match, but in this match especially, I feel like he really didn't use Jirachi well.
He got one kill because he still tried to stack it off twice. It confuses me.
Yeah, and he's not using Jirachi to its full potential. I think Jirachi's a really good mon.
Most people I know when they're prepping for Ditto, make sure their team can't be beaten by Ditto, like one of their own mons.
Yeah.
This Volcarona was literally running Hurricane.
Yeah, he should have ran HP Grass or Rock or Hidden Power Rock. Yeah.
Do we know what that was for? What was the
Hurricane? Probably for insert mon here.
I'm looking at the teams really quickly.
I mean,
it was for.
I don't know. I can't think of a Mega Dian. No.
Nothing. Like it could only have been for Primate, but.
Primate, but Flame Fire Dance one shots for the setup.
I think this is one of these moments where he was like, "Oh, I can throw on this move because it's not going to hurt me." I think he must have thought that if Ditto came in when he didn't have the boosts, then he could set up one, live one, and then kill it with Hurricane. So it's actually to beat the Ditto, I think.
I don't know. He really should have ran Hidden Power Rock. If he ran Hidden Power Rock, he had a chance to win.
Yeah, because he ran Hidden Power Rock. I mean, Tepe might be one of those clever guys who EVs to make sure it has the right thing, but most people they go.
I don't know if he did, and he might have been scared to run like a hidden power so that like his speed is dropped because again it came down to a speed tie.
Yeah.
So maybe the Volcarona was never going. Actually, no, it would have because it didn't have hidden power grass. But it's just Belly Drum Magmortar was really cool to see.
Yeah.
It just didn't do anything. It just didn't really do anything. The Akaberry Nidoqueen really made sense, but at the same time, it really didn't.
Yeah.
It just kind of. I mean, I know what it's for, but it really did nothing. Mega Sableye was great in the match, and I feel like again we're kind of repeating ourselves over and over again. But it really just did come down to a single speed tie.
I mean, Swag has got a win under his belt, but having said that. We're not going to go into details there. I misplayed Lost Tax, but we're going to ignore that. He has got a win in his belt, so that might give him some momentum, because I said that game was played after this one. But I just feel like he wasn't using his team to the best of its abilities, and didn't. I feel like I know Swag from Didn't League, and if there's one thing I've learned about him, is he takes like 10 minutes to prep. And I think that's going to be his downfall, because he had to prep more for that Ditto. You know, when you're facing Ditto, you have to make sure you cannot be beaten by your own Ditto.
Exactly.
When you're running 2 setup mons, that's really not the best of starts.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Swag after the bye week is facing Gomez, so he's definitely going to be playing tough opponents. Judging on that match, Jirachi and Sableye are very, very good in that match. So like he should theoretically have the upper hand, but we'll have to see what happens with that. Tepig, on the other hand, is facing Kraft, so both of them definitely have huge obstacles to face.
No offense to Swag, but I feel like he's probably still out of playoffs now, and he's just going to try out Mons for the next season. I mean, like, he can come back. I'm not saying he won't, because
he's
4
still
losses is still possible. And
because actually he faces me.
Yeah.
Yodeler.
Because of the people.
No,
he
6 passes.
But because of the people he's facing, being Gomez, I'm trying to say, X-Lix, who will come to in a bit.
Silix. Yeah, so we're going to move on from that battle, and we're going to move on to me versus Zach. The battle should already be up by the time this goes up, so we can spoil the ending. I lost 3-0 to Zach, and it was really unfortunate. I feel like I didn't play badly. There's just nothing really I can do against Excadrill. It literally destroys my team. And Zach's team is very, very good. I really was expecting the Epowdon, even though I didn't think he was going to bring Sandrush Excadrill, because obviously it beats him. But I will say there was a tremendous amount of hacks against me. I got burned twice, the Virizion and the Mega Absol. And there's just nothing I can do. And I said in the video, actually, if I got a crit on the Excadrill afterwards, I would have won, because Heatran beat Scolipede because it was Shuckleberry and Gardevoir.
Yeah.
But he burned me, and I crit the Excadrill with Sucker Punch the turn after. And if I wasn't burned, I would have killed. So yes, hacks might have won me the game, but hacks also partly won him the game. So it's,
I think there was sort of more you could have done, but it would have involved to dig like really deep and run very specialist sets, which might have also harmed you.
But I don't know what I could have done. Like, there's nothing, like, I could have run an offensive Gyarados, but still been a check to Excadrill.
Yeah, this sounds like a challenge, and I'm going to find a way you could have beaten it. No.
Yeah, like, there's not really I could do. When I brought in Gyarados on the Salamence, I really, really did think he was going to be offensive. I knew Draco Meteor was a possibility.
Well, wait, I've just seen all your drops.
What?
Your changes.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, do you like them?
Oh, Okay, we'll discuss about this after.
We'll discuss this actually. We might do another video after that. We won't spoil it now. We won't spoil it now. But
all I'm gonna say is
don't.
I think
no spoilers.
No, nothing about that. All I'm saying is like I think like maybe intimidate Gyarados, like Rocky Helmet, something could have done something.
Yeah, maybe, but the reason is that Gyarados was my direct response to Excadrill, and Excadrill was always going for Rock Slashes.
Or Shuka Wheezing.
I toyed around with that, but
because once Burn was neutered, or no, that wouldn't work.
Maybe, but if I wanted to run Shuka,
I suspect Diggersby was a hit, so Agility Diggersby.
Maybe I wanted to bring a Diggersby, but I felt Rotom and Hippowdon were just too much.
No, I get you. It was a tough matchup for you. As we'll come to my game, we'll see that there were quite a few tough matchups. But yeah, it was a tough matchup for you, and you did wellish. But I feel like Zach has finally started to find a stride and might go unbeaten for the rest of the season.
Maybe, I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head who he plays.
He plays some tough people, but he's beaten Yoda and you, which is
yeah. So he's pretty much guaranteed at this point.
Yeah.
I could have set up Tailwind with Latios early to help my team.
It was a tough matchup. I don't think you can ever really say, oh, this is what I could have done, because it really bothers me when people go, oh, the matchup was against me, it was suicide, because there's always
I definitely could have won, but it was the second Gyarados died. I knew it was basically over.
For you. Anyway, should we move on?
Yeah, we'll move on. I'll just skip the turns there. Basically, at this point, he just comes in. Like I said, he burns. I crit the Sucker Punch. I crit the extra with the Sucker Punch, and then he kills me with Earthquake, and then kills Heatran, and Shucker Berry wasn't enough. So, I knew that Shucker Berry wasn't enough to take a hit from Excadrill. That was for Salamence and Scolipede, because I can't hit me with anything else, really.
Moves,
So, yeah, but that's unfortunate.
Gets Hydro Pump.
I know that, but I was specially defensive. It didn't do it.
I always had to point these things out, because it was like in one of Joey's videos, back to the Reggies, like, Suicune can't do anything to Mega Venusaur, so I left a comment saying, +2 extra sensory beats it.
Exactly, yeah, no, there's a lot of things that you can do.
I'm such a...
And I knew that Scolipede and Salamence couldn't be Heatran unless they run Aqua Tail and Hydro Pump, and I take them, so... we're going to move on. We're going to move on to Steven versus Kraft, and Kraft, you can talk us through. I actually talked to Steven after this, so... so, Kraft, what happened?
Well, I think it was a bit of a tough matchup, Steven, going into it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I was looking at the teams after, and although on first glance it seems kind of even, because Suicune and Victini can do a lot of work. I mean, especially after my changes, there was very little you could do to beat Rotom Heat.
Yeah.
Because prior to his changes, Suicune beat it, but does not want to Volt Switch if it's physically defensive, which it had to be for Lopunny. Donphan does not want to be burnt. Crustle does not want to be burnt. And then the only thing he brought for it was Guts AV Machamp. I assume that's what it was, because it was running close combat.
Yeah, it was.
I knew it was AV, but I think it must have been Guts as well, because it ran close combat.
It was.
Yeah. So Guts AV Machamp had to be checked for that. So basically, what ended up happening in this game was right from the get-go, I was running Fake Out Last Resort Megalopoly, and I realised that the only things which could stop it was Scarf Teaming, which was really obvious, and I knew had to come because it...
Which was what it was, yeah.
Yeah, which tore holes in my team. And then the only other thing was either a Scarf Machamp, which I was worried about for a while. He did a good job bluffing that, actually, but we'll come to that later.
Yeah.
And physically defensive Suicune. So I got into the game, I then wrote him Heat, knowing he would need Crustle. It was running sub. I sub Toxic, Volt Switch, and basically I go into Megalopoly as early as possible to see what his defensive check is going to be to it. And he reveals there is this Suicune is running Rock Helmet. So then on, the rest of the game was me, 1, trying to figure out what Machamp set was, 2, trying to kill the Victini, and 3, trying to weaken Suicune so I could clean with Megalopoly. And the way I went about this was, I had Heat-Proof Bronzong.
Yeah, Heat-Proof, yeah.
Which lift a hit and put into range for Aftermath, because I defogged away Crystal's Hazards for Suicune and Skuntank, and then stacked it to Victini to get the Aftermath kill. He saved the Suicune very wise, and for a while I was worried about Scarf, because he switched it in on the Rotom Heat. And I was like, okay, well, it can probably live a hit anyway. So I stayed in because I wanted to see what it was going to do to me. It missed the Stone Edge, which was unfortunate. It didn't kill because of my set and his set, but it put me down to range where...
What, the Machamp Stone Edge doesn't kill Skunk Tank?
No, it kills Skuntank.
No.
Oh, I switched out. I tried to stack it. No, man. So he reveals the Skuntank. It missed, which is really unfortunate because otherwise I would have had to stack so enough to the Victini. So that is unfortunate. I mean, rocks are up, so die, whatever. But it's unfortunate that he missed, otherwise Skuntank killed. And once I saw that, I switched out into Bronzong. And I was thinking, okay, if he's not Scarf, he'll go for knockoff. I didn't know if he was running or not. But he switched out to Teeny. So for ages I thought Scarf. Eventually I worked out his AV because of how well it took a Dazzling even Shaman. And from then on, the rest of the game was me trying to weaken everything so Kieran Beach could clean up. His defensive Mega Ampharos stopping me. And
that Ampharos was not defensive.
Okay, I give up then. Because I was like...
Yeah, that it didn't have a single bit of investment. So the reason what the plan was, I built with Steven. I was like, get your rocks up. Know that the Skunk Tank has defog because we knew we were bringing Skunk Tank. Yeah. And basically, Sylveon was Scarf.
Yeah, I realised that was Bedme and I didn't really know what it was. Because I was like, well, it's not
Scarf. And Ampharos was an agility set. And with the set that we ran, it beat your whole entire team. You know, if you didn't bring certain things, as long as you weaken everything.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Why is Mega Ampharos so tanky?
Yeah, as long as it had Focus Blast, Kyurem, Dragon Pulse Kyurem, Focus Blast, Lopunny, Dragon Pulse is Shaman, can take a hit, Walls, Rotom, and he goes into a champ on Kyurem, which was the bad play, because he didn't know you were Scarf, which was obvious, because he was Scarf, and it didn't click for him, and he didn't think he could live a hit with Ampharos, because he wasn't offensive, he wasn't defensive, so...
Oh, he's still feeling with Scarf, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that's why he left it in on Kyurem. I think that's what happened, and then you killed him. So.
Yeah, that's so stupid. I didn't miss your Scarf, so I thought it was just a genuine misplay. But yeah, basically the way this game went was I had the team matchup because of the fact that Rotom Heat walls half his mons and Mega Lopunny kills
beats the other ones.
Kills everything.
And it should have been a 2-0.
Yeah.
He should have at least got the burn at the end.
I know.
It was unfortunate.
It was a matter of me having to his team. It was a matter of me having to weaken his team so one of my mons could clean up, and it was a matter of him trying to kill all my mons or get a chance set up with Ampharos. I think the two points where it sort of changed was when I killed his Victini and when I got that defog off. If I didn't get that defog off, he could have won. I'm not even joking. Those hazards were lethal for me.
Yeah, he definitely could have won in the situation as long as some when things went his way, but he missed a lot of Stone Edges.
I think he missed 2.
He missed 2, and one was on Bronzong, so it didn't matter. But he missed one on Skunk Tank, which mattered because then it was able to kill Victini.
One was important because had he not missed it,
Victini wouldn't have had to die for no reason. Maybe.
Well, Rotom Heat lived a hit.
But he could have saved it. You went into Aftermath and killed it, but he didn't have to.
That was the problem. The problem was that it would have been 2-0 because Rotom Heat couldn't have done.
And did you have rocks on Bronzong?
Yes.
Okay, so you just never got them up.
I had them.
Or you did get them up, yeah. You defaulted, yeah.
That was the thing. I knew you had to stay in, so I went out in the Skuntank knowing you had to attack. And
yeah, so
anyway.
It was a lot closer than maybe it should have been, but I think Steve played well. I think Steve was really kicking himself. That's what Steven always does. He just kicks himself.
Steve played better than me.
Steve played very well at the start.
I'm not even going to joke because I just did what I had to. And Stephen actually made some really nice predictions early on. Yeah. But as soon as that Victini dropped to heat-proof...
Shaman just raped him then.
Bronzong, then Shaman destroyed his team because Shaman was defensive but modest special... It was not special attack, but it had enough defense that it could live something.
V-Create, maybe? Well, actually, no, I doubt that.
No, it wasn't V-Create. It might have been a blue flare.
Yeah.
But it was something. And if the showing had been Scarf, my plan was to rest up on that. But I know what ended up happening was because Suicune was so passive, I could switch in at the end and save differential. But it was closer than maybe I should have made it. I played very safe, and I'm still yet to prove that I can play with the big boys because I beat Sarzo with hacks. I lost 2 games to hacks. My best game that I actually played well in was against Yoda, and my only other game which I won Steven was I got outplayed, just had a good team matchup. Anyway.
And I will say, Steve, if you are watching this, you played very, very well with Victini at the start. Him swapping Victini on Skunk Tank was so risky, but it actually worked out because you always swapped down to Bronzong or something. Yeah. And it was good.
I swapped out into Shaman.
Shaman, yeah. He always... Because he said he knew you wouldn't stay in because there was no reason for you to attack. Because yeah.
I was so close against Sucker Punch, but I knew you didn't kill that range.
Yeah.
And I switched into Shaman because no, not Sucker Punch. The thing was I couldn't attack. What was I in on? I think I was in on the Skunk Tank. That's what it was. It was early game, and I brought Skunk Tank in last week into Defog. And first time he stayed in and just fired off a Scald. And then second time, because I had to be physical to beat the Victini, because otherwise I couldn't run Sucker Punch. He knew I wouldn't stay in, and he predicted me and pulled up out to team.
Yeah, it was a very good game by both of you. I think you also are kind of putting yourself down a little too much. Like you were playing safe, but that's not always a bad thing.
My prep, like, I mean, I bet someone like Zen will get prep of the week for sweeping Saracen, but my prep, like, I'm finally happy with my prep. Because for most of this season, I was like, my prep was like, oh god, if I'd just done this. I mean, like, it's been good, but it hasn't been as good as it maybe should have been.
As good as was the last season.
Yeah. Whereas my prep for versus Stephen, because it was a must-win game. I mean,
and the matchup was in your favor heavily.
I love my prep. I mean, I had standard sets, but they were all sort of like custom EVs.
Yeah. Like standard sets are never a bad thing, as long as they work.
My wrong song was running expert out.
Oh, that's why Shadowball did so much. I know you defense drop, but like that.
Yeah, basically, it was running expert out Grass Knot with Psych Up.
Oh, to beat Suicune? I get you. He was a Calm Mind. Oh, no, sorry. He was a Scald Toxic Suicune, because we said the plan was to just weaken everything and then go on Ampharos and set up an agility.
My worry was that he would be Calm Mind, and if I was on the same stats as him, Grass Knot 3-hit KO'd him, which is fine because rest is the same recover.
Yeah, so we're going to move on from that battle. Very, very good battle. And we're going to move on to Zilix versus Yodeler. We're going to play this in fast, because this is a long-ass battle.
Wasn't the first kill, like, round 50?
Round 63. So, Zilix had a really, really good team. He made a lot of improvements to it, actually. I didn't think he could. He picked up Milotic. You already know, guys. Milotic is great in the draft league format.
Doesn't he now have Mega Medicham or something?
No, he still has Mega Charizard.
He's normal Medicham.
He's normal Medicham, which is pretty unique.
I like Raichu. We should do a separate video on team changes and teams.
You better write you a love song. And I think Milotic was very, very important in this match. The Mega Venusaur was always going to be a problem for his entire team. But I think both of them played very, very well. It really came down to Zilix was able to stall better than the Yodeler was. I think that really came down to it.
Zilix played better for the late game. I mean, I've so noticed this. I mean, Yodeler plays very well for the late game because he's won most of his games in late game. But for whatever reason, he sort of was sort of grasping at straws at the end and hoping he could sweep with Gorbis, which was never really going to happen.
To me, the momentum was in Zilix's favor a lot of the match, so it's not really Yodeler's fault. Like it was always Yodeler swapping out. Yeah. Not Zilix, you know, so that kind of way. So
once again, I feel like the matchup was probably in Zilix's favor.
Yeah,
because Milotic, like if you look at the teams,
Milotic gets stopped by Venusaur, and that's it.
Yeah, and Helios because he has that now.
Yeah.
But they were the only two things, and basically, the only two things that stopped were Mega Venusaur and Helios, both of which Helios didn't come in the end. But Zilix can set up on both of them with Charizard X. He can start one with Crobat and the other with Crocodile. You know, there's so many ways that Zilix had to beat the Mons which checked Milotic. Milotic was incredibly crucial this game.
Yeah.
And it just came down to the fact that could stall out most of Yodeler's team.
And also, Zilix played very, very well around the Gorbis with Whimsicott. You know, not even allowing it to set up, just swapping straight into it. If Whimsicott died, it was whatever. I think that was very, very good and was very, very important because if he allowed the Gorbis to set up, it was over. It was
very well played by Zilix. And Zilix is another person who has 4 losses, but because of already beating Yodeler, he actually still has a chance.
Yeah.
Why do I have to play these people? These are all people I have to play.
I know, yeah. Yeah, so, okay, sorry about that, guys, but, Kraft had to go for just a second. There was a lot of background noise, so, I'm just gonna finish this up by myself. So, Yodeler and Zilix both played very, very well. Yodeler could only do so much, but, Zilix's team is very, very stally, very, very good. And, yeah, like, the melodic was really important, like we said, and it didn't really, he didn't get any skull burns, which is funny. Well, I'm sure he got one, but he just didn't get any luck here, and I'm going to skip ahead a few turns here. Just a lot of stalling with Melodic being able to stall things out. I believe the first turn was like down the road here, so I'm going to skip ahead to around here. Swaps into Mega Venusaur on the Crook. The Crook just goes for knockoff, does very, very little. He swaps into Capri, the Heracross. I don't recognize the reference or the name, but he has a Flame Orb Heracross, which is really cool to see, and he swaps in a Metagross, and the Metagross dies. So the Metagross dying really opened the door for Crobat a lot. Crobat was really the star of this match alongside Milotic, because it was just able to roost, Cross Poison, and Brave Bird whatever it wanted to. And it was very, very important. It kept Zilix in the game for most of the match. It was a great pivot for him. Every time Amon needed to swap out like Milotic, Crobat was always there to take a hit and roost up. So very, very good team prep in that sense for Zilix. Very, very good strategy. And yeah, for me, Crobat was the star of the show. Yodeler could only do so much against Zilix's team. His team got very, very dwindled down. He played very, very well, Zilix did, against the Gorbis. Gorbis set up a Shell Smash. Zilix swapped straight into the Gorbis. Didn't allow it to set up a Shell Smash because he knew if it set up a Shell Smash and he beat him, he won. So he encored him in the Shell Smash. And then he swaps into Venusaur as he goes for Giga Drain. So good plays all round. Good plays all round. He goes for Leech Seed. Yodeler does on the swap into Zilix. Good play. And yeah, it was just a lot of this for most of the game. I believe Yodeler tries to set up with Gorbis again later, but doesn't get the opportunity to. And kills the Mandibuzz. Whimsicott dies, and then Venusaur dies to Brave Bird. Crobat does a ton with Brave Bird, and then because of Leech Seed, Gorbis will be able to take another Brave Bird if he got it off. Goes for Shadow Ball, kills the Crobat. Goes into Milotic. Milotic +4. This is a +4 Gorbis. Goes for right here, I believe, goes for Shadow Ball. No, it goes for Shell Smash. Sorry, so he was +6, and he goes for Haze, and I was like, oh my lord. Saved the game, truly. He goes for Shell Smash this time, and I believe he just goes for Skull, tries to get damage off, forces him to attack, because he knows another one will kill. And you'll see how little the Shadow Ball does, only just 34%. He gets a special defense drop, which is pretty funny, and then Gorbis is just going to die to the Scald. Yodeler then goes into the Aromatisse. Zilix does the right thing, doesn't mess around with it, just gets the damage off with Scald, gets a burn, which is very funny, puts it in range of the Medicham. He could have swapped out because he did go for Toxic, so there was actually a chance, you know, that he could have saved the differential, but he just goes in Heracross, then goes for Facade, and kills the Aromatisse. So, good game by Zilix and Yodeler. They both play very, very well, and I play Yodeler next game after the bye week, so that'd be fun. And finally, we had Gomez versus Jet. Jet is, I believe this is his first battle, or at least one of the first ones, so very, very intense match. They both set up spikes in the first turn. Gomez puts up Toxic Spikes with Frogadier. Chestnut puts up the spikes for Jet. Changes into an Ice type. If he went for Drain Punch right here, that would have been amazing, but he just goes for Wood Hammer and just kills it off anyway. Doesn't die from the Wood Hammer damage, which is pretty nice. Out comes the Thunderous, sets up an Agility, and Jet stays in and goes for Drain Punch, which is actually really important, as you'll see later. Just getting off that little bit of damage. He goes for Nasty Plot this time. He goes for Wood Hammer. Drain Punch is able to put him to the point where he doesn't die, I believe, to Wood Hammer Recoil. And then, yeah, he goes for Thunderbolt and then kills the thing. In comes Bill, and he didn't have Grass Knot, and I was really shocked. I thought that was going to be the end of the game, but Bill was apparently his response to Thunderous, and it was just a lot of Quagsire and Umbreon walling Latios and Thunderous a lot, and that was mostly the game. Jet played very, very well with the Umbreon, even with the Toxic Spike sitting up. he didn't worry too much. Infernape was a defensive Infernape, which is very cool to see. And Tornadus was able to do a lot. He was able to toxic the Latios with Quagsire, which is very, very important because it put Latios on a timer. It didn't let it to Dragon Dance and stuff like that, and really forced it to just attack. He goes for Grass Knot as the Umbreon comes in, and I believe Umbreon was at the point where he could just kill it with Dragon Pulse. Sorry, no, he goes for Dragon Pulse instead of Draco Meteor and doesn't get the kill, which was very important. If that was you, Gomez, if that was me, Gomez, I really would have just Draco Meteored or checked or calced or whatever, because that was super duper important, the Umbreon being able to survive. It comes the Infernape, and he goes out into the Haxorus. Very, very interesting play, because Quagsire was there, but he goes for Flare Blitz. He does take it very, very well, so in some ways it did work out for him. And the Infernape just goes for another Flare Blitz, and I believe that was a defensive Infernape. I think it was. I don't know, actually. I think I'm thinking of another game. But he comes in a Latios, Draco Meteor's the, Dragon Pulse is the Haxorus, just kills it. He goes in a Umbreon. Does a Jet. Gomez just goes for another Dragon Pulse, and he realizes he's on a timer. He doesn't have to risk anything. He's just going to click Moonlight for the next few turns until the Latios dies. And that's exactly what he does. He goes for Dragon Pulse here, and he just goes for Payback and kills the Gomez. So in comes Thundurus, and Thundurus is very, very important to the rest of this match. Thundurus comes in, goes for Thunderbolt, does a lot of damage to Umbreon, suffers Life Orb damage, and he goes for Taunt, which was very, very crucial, because if you went for Moonlight there, it would have been over for Thundurus. He wouldn't have been able to kill the Umbreon, but he is able to kill the Umbreon. Goes into Bill, and he goes for Hidden Power Ice, I believe, and is not able to kill the Quagsire. The reason I said Thundurus is important because he was able to kill the Umbreon, which really allowed Goodra to do a little more work if given the opportunity. Goes into Goodra here. I was expecting a power up, but he just goes for Ice Beam, and Bill does exactly what Bill should do. Puts Goodra on a timer and basically forces it to keep attacking. He goes for Dragon Tail and gets very, very lucky as the Charizard comes in. It wasn't a 50% chance, but Charizard coming in was very, very important. Sorry, I have the hiccups. But Charizard coming in is very, very important as he misses an Air Slash as well as taking the Stealth Arc damage. Lives the Thunderbolt but gets paralyzed, which was just a kick in the nuts. Misses an Air Slash and gets paralyzed in the same turn, which was sucky. He was able to kill him with an Ice Beam. Goodra died to poison damage, and then Tornadus had Sludge Wave, which was very, very important. Sludge Wave is a pretty common move to run on Tornadus, sorry, in the Draft League format, because there's a lot of Fairy types running around. But it was very, very important in this match, because if you just had Hurricane in the sun, don't think he could have been able to kill. So, or I don't think he was able to beat the Clefable, but because of Sludge Wave he was. So that was week 5 of the Elysian UCL. Definitely a very, very interesting week, and I guys hope you enjoyed. Craft did have noise issues, so we just ended the Skype call, and I said I did it on my own. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to have something like one down below for us, and subscribe to become a member of the Aggronix. Sub for those nudes, because those nudes. And with that being said, guys, I hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye bye.